Our guest, pitching star Bob Turley of the New York Yankees. We'll hear from Bob in just a minute, but first, here's something else that I'd like you to see. Hi, everybody. Bob Wolff speaking, along with Bob Turley of the New York Yankees. Bob had a tremendous year last season for New York, and as you know, he capped his great triumph during the season with a tremendous pitching performance, a big pitching star of the World Series. And Robert, I know what a thrill that was for you.
Yes, it was, Bob. That's probably the greatest thrill that can happen to a pitcher in this game.
Early in the series, after the Yankees were pretty roundly thumped by the Braves, looked for a while like you might not have a chance to come back as you did.
Well, they had us down pretty far, but I guess it's just like the old saying goes, the game's never over until the last man's out, and we had a lot of courage and a lot of will still on our ball club, and I think we showed the champions that we are.
What was the turning point of the series as far as you were concerned?
Well, you got to say the turning point is when we were down 3-1 in that fifth game when Elliott made that great catch for us out there, and that started to put us back on a winning ways, and we were one run ahead then, and we come back and scored 6 runs later to beat them 7-0 that game.
Bob, you've changed your pitching style in recent years, have you not?
Yes, I have, Bob. I've changed because of one main thing, that's because of control. I have control now, and I can use the pitches that I have in my repertoire, such as the slider, curveball, sinker, and fastball. Before, I never had the control, and all I could throw was one pitch. That was the only pitch I could control with any success.
I see. By getting control, have you had to take anything off your fastball to do it?
No, definitely not. I still have the good fastball. I just don't use it as much as I always done before because I like to save it for certain spots now, and I can come up with it then.
I see. Well, what was the difference? How did you master your control? It's something other pitchers would like to know, I guess.
Well, Bob, I really personally think it's the biggest thing to any pitcher is when he learns how to relax and pitch on that mound. It's very easy to talk about it, but it's the hardest thing for a pitcher to do. And I finally came up with that through various things, such as the no wind-up and the taking of a deep breath and shortening my stride, that I got to the point where I'm relaxed at all times now, and when I throw a pitch, I'm not worried whether it's going to be a ball or a strike.
Mm-hmm. When you say shortening your stride, has this made a noticeable difference?
Yes, it has. When I shortened my stride, it made me follow through a little bit more and made me bring the ball down. And now I have a tendency, if I'm going to be wild, it'll be down low instead of high. And that's what always hurt me because hitters will take the high ball and they'll always swing at a bad low pitch.
What is the difference, Bob, without taking the windup? What does that do for you specifically?
Well, the main thing, it keeps my head in focus with home plate all the time because I have only one motion, and it keeps me in proper rhythm all the time. I don't have to take the elaborate wind-up and get out of rhythm if I pump too hard or too slow. And then also it saves an awful lot of strength on a real hot day because when you get a hot day and you're taking those big wind-ups out there, about in the 6th and 7th inning, you're getting a little pooped. But when you have the no wind-up, you're saving pretty much strength the whole game.
Without the wind-up, do you keep your eye on the batter at all times or take it off at all?
I keep my eye on the batter all the times. I mean, I'm looking right down there, concentrating on what I've got to do all the time.
Some pitchers, actually, when they take the big wind-up, swing away for a brief moment, don't they?
That's right. That's the greatest handicap for a pitcher is when he takes his eyes off the plate because he loses it momentarily, and when he throws the ball, actually the ball is going where his eyes look sometime, and it'll be high or away.
Now, how about the batter when he faces a man without a wind-up? Should this help or hinder as far as his timing?
Well, Bob, it hurts him, actually, because he cannot swing a bat up there with me. He has to be tense and ready at all times, and I can kind of toy with him a little bit. I see him stand there waiting, make him wait a little longer, then I see those hands drop, then I pitch.
I see.
So he has to raise his hands up real quick and swing the bat, and I have a tendency to make him hit the right field that way.
Yeah. I've noticed that the batters tell me that you're one of the toughest of all to hit against as far as getting their timing down.
That's right. Well, that's one of the great advantages of the no wind-up is because they can't time you at all because there's no timing to do. You just grab the ball and throw.
Well, have you spoken to other pitchers about this? I wonder why others don't copy the example. Some have, but there aren't too many, actually.
Well, I guess it's something that's going to have to maybe come with time. I don't advise all pitchers to do it because some of them have real tricky motions, and that's just as much handicap to a hitter as a no wind-up man is.
Now, if you could lean far back, let's say like Bob Turley used to do with that big swing, do you think you get more speed in the ball that way or not?
No, I wouldn't, Bob. I really wouldn't. If you'll watch me pitch next time, if you just watch again while I'm pitching, you'll see that I swing my body and my hand drops down the same place as those fellas does to throw the baseball. So the leverage is the same.
Yeah, that's deceptive because you see that great big pump and a fellow rearing way back, you think, gee, he's getting so much body into it.
That's right. Well, he's not getting no more in than I do.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Your type of delivery to the average sideline pitcher like myself appears to be one in which is so effortless, in essence, that it doesn't seem like you're working hard enough.
Well, that's one of the objects why I do it, because actually I'm not working as hard as the next fellow.
Now, how about the push off the pitching rubber? Is that important or not?
Yes, it's very important. If you get a proper shove off there, and if your foot's very firm, you'll follow it through a lot, and you'll get a good shove and throw a lot harder. If you don't have firm footing up there, your foot slips, and then you have a tendency the ball will go high, and you don't have as much on it.
I'll return with Bob Turley of the New York Yankees in just a minute, but first, here's something else I'd like you to see. Bob Turley, pressure is an important part of a baseball game and pitching. Do you find that you pitch differently with the tension and pressure involved than you would, say, in a game which doesn't mean so much?
Yes, definitely. You've got to concentrate just twice as much in the game in pressure, and it's every pitch then. Where you got a game where it's not too much pressure, such as in spring training, you have a tendency to lapse a little bit, and you don't worry about if somebody hits it here and there. Or in those games where you got the big runs, sometimes you find yourself getting in trouble late innings because you're might be what they call experimenting, playing a Tom Edison or something like that out there. But pressure is very rough on a pitcher, and that's a true test of a good pitcher, because once you can pitch under that pressure, that's the difference.
Does pressure influence a man's control?
Yes, it very much so. That's why I explained that pressure has got to do with relaxation. Once you have that relaxation, the pressure leaves your shoulders, because then it's just like another ball game to you. But if the pressure mounts up on you and you're not relaxed, then you're in trouble.
You've spoken about the physical aspects of relaxation. You take that deep breath, don't you?
That's right, Bob.
Some of the basketball boys are doing that, I noticed, too.
A lot of people do that in all types of sports. You see swimmers and divers, and you see basketball and golfers, and everybody does it, because you can try it yourself. It just seems to give you a good feeling all over when you take that real deep breath, yes.
Is this your own theory, or somebody advised you to do this?
Well, nobody really advised me to do it. I was talking to a fellow by the name of Lou Miller up in New York, who writes for the New York papers, and he was talking to me one day, and he's one of these fellows that's a fanatic on running. He's about 48 years old, and does about 5 miles running every day. And I asked Lou one day, I said, Lou, how do you run so much without getting tired? And he said, well, Bob, I get tired. He said, but I take real deep breaths when I start feeling myself get tired, and it seems to relax me all over. Well, as soon as he said that word relax, and then I said, well, I've got to try it. So I've been trying it ever since.
Bob, a lot of pitchers do a lot of running. They feel this is the big thing, and there are a couple of the old-time pitchers. Well, take Satchel Paige. All he wants to do is just throw 2 throws, and he's all limbered up. How important do you think running is as far as you're personally concerned about conditioning, or does throwing by itself do the trick?
Well, I would say this, Bob. The first thing a pitcher's really got to do is got to get his legs in shape. Now, I would say you have to run an awful lot in spring, but once the season starts, I don't think you have to run as much as you do in spring, because your legs are in shape, and all you got to do is just keep them in shape. But I feel the most important thing for a fella to do after his legs are in shape is he's got to throw. He's got to build up that arm just like he does his legs. And you don't build up an arm by throwing once a week or twice a week. You have to throw. Myself, I throw every day in spring training. I don't throw hard, but I just throw every day to build up those muscles. And I really believe that you got to build up an arm just like you do a leg.
Bob, do you pitch any differently up in Boston than you do in other parks?
Yes, I do, Bob. You have to pitch different up there, because if you make bad pitches inside, somebody hits that wall on you. So you have to kind of pitch them away pretty much and try and keep the ball down at all times.
What's the system of pitching to Ted Williams, if any?
Well, Bob, really, there's no system of pitching that guy. I've only have one system. That's throw it low and duck.
Robert, before I let you go, I know that you're quite a busy man aside from baseball, are you not?
Yes, I am, Bob. I'm pretty active in the insurance business down in Baltimore, Maryland in wintertime. Gus Triandis and I are in the insurance business down there. We have an agency of our own that's going very well down there.
Well, that's fine. So this keeps you busy all the time, huh?
Yes, it does, Bob. I'm looking for the future. I love to play baseball, but I know the time's going to come when I cannot no longer play baseball, and I want to have something to do.
Well, this is a good thing in any sport, I guess, to have a business going along with your career. There are quite a few other ball players who do that, too, aren't there?
Yes, there is, Bob. It's a wonderful thing to do, because they can take advantage of their name. Their name is in front of the public at all times, so they can take advantage of it then.
I'll tell you, that Bob Turley name is a real headliner. Robert, thanks so much for being my guest.
Thank you, Bob. It's a pleasure being on your show.
And now, here's something else I'd like you to see.